The first thing the girl did after gaining superpowers was sneak into the nation's largest bank. She didn't take a single cent. She only wanted to test how much she could move at once. She knew very well that greedy people never end well. Still, there was one thing she was genuinely happy about. No more money needed for school transportation. Cautious as always, Minya continued to walk to school every day, even with powers in her hands. That was when a luxury car suddenly sped past, ignoring every pedestrian in its way. And the student who never had to walk, who lived without restraint, her superpower, was simply having good parents who handled everything. For a moment, Minya felt lost. What was the point of her powers, really? She could teleport 50 kilometers, slip in and out of a top-security bank, and even stack abilities together. But she was too afraid to use them. Her upbringing had taught her not to steal, not to lie. The only harmless idea she could think of was traveling the world for free. The girl hid in an empty storage room, letting her thoughts drift. Her powers revealed a wider, more beautiful world. She closed her eyes and allowed herself to savor that rare, extraordinary feeling, even if just for a few minutes. But once her mind cleared, the question returned, what am I supposed to do with all this power? Just then, a commotion erupted outside. Chauncey's skin is flawless. She can rock any makeup look. You're lucky our company's new product gets to be on your face. Oh wait, needs more glow. Let me touch it up. Don't you think this look could make his debut ready? Might even help his land a boyfriend today. The others burst out laughing, snapping photos without pause. Minya instantly recognized the voices. That group again. She didn't want trouble. If they got her involved, it'd be a nightmare. Better use her powers now and leave. But it was too late. Lia's cold voice rang out. Kong Minya, why are you hiding from me? I hate sneaks. Get out here now. She couldn't risk exposing her powers. That meant she had no choice, she had to walk out and face it. Minya pushed open the door in silence. Before she could even steady her footing, a sharp slap landed on her cheek. What? No greeting. No manners at all. What's that look? Are you glaring at me now? Clutching her burning face, she bit her lip hard. Endure it, Minya. Just endure it. But the next sentence made her entire face turn cold. Figures. A brat without a dad. Didn't I hear your father was a cop? No wonder you act all tough. Minya raised her head and stared straight at Luya, voice low and steady. Shut up. At those words, Luya yanked Minya's hair hard and delivered another harsh slap across her face. No one talks to me like that, she shouted, then kicked Minya hard a few more times. The others around them laughed gleefully, throwing out nasty remarks while someone excitedly recorded everything on their phone. Minya dug her nails deep into her palm, repeating silently, hold it in. Just hold on. It'll all be over soon. Luya tossed a handful of cash in her face. Go get some real glasses, stop wearing that cheap junk. That slap must have been worth something, right? Want a few more? I'll throw in plastic surgery while I'm at it. She then turned to Minya, you too, don't leave after school. I'll take you somewhere fun. Poor little orphans like you need entertainment. Someone suddenly chimed in. Hey Luya, how did Minya's dad die again? I heard he got stabbed trying to break up a bar fight. Damn, even a drunk could kill him. What a pathetic loser. The moment those words left her mouth, Luya felt a wave of intense danger hit her like a wall. In the blink of an eye, she and Minya were standing on the dark, open sea. Minya's voice was like ice. I warned you. Shut up. At that moment, Kang Jihan suddenly turned his head as if sensing something, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Wait, where's Luya? Where did she go? Minya forced herself to calm her pounding heart, clutching her mouth tightly, terrified that any slip would give her away. What did I just do? Did I really throw Luya into the ocean? Did I kill her? Jiang Jihan asked. Have you seen Luya? Didn't Huang Gunwu say she was just beside you? Kang Jihan frowned. Did either of you see where Luya went? So they really didn't see anything. Good. No one knows. No, there's still Yun Chauncey. Did he see it? Minya's panic surged instantly. Yun Chauncey, I'm talking to you. Where did Luya go? Why aren't you answering? Huang Gunwu shouted, slapping Chauncey hard across the face. Huang Gunwu, what the hell's wrong with you again? Stop freaking out. Gunwu roared like a madman. You bastard. I asked you, where the hell is Luya? Kang Jihan stepped in quickly. She disappears and you go insane? What the hell are you doing, Gunwoo? But Gunwoo didn't hear a word. He lunged at Chauncey, grabbing his throat and squeezing with growing force. Minya's eyes widened, her heart nearly stopping. If this kept going, Chauncey would die. He had to do something. But if she used her powers, wouldn't that expose her too? Did she have to make them disappear, just like Luya? Just as Minya hesitated, a sharp voice cut through the chaos. Stop. What are you doing on school grounds? It was the homeroom teacher. For a moment, Minya thought they were finally going to be punished. But what she didn't expect was that the teacher, Mr. Jiango, had lost a fortune in failed investments, and his creditor was none other than Kong Jihan. Mr. Jiango instantly lowered his tone. However, he had also just received a call from Luya's grandmother, the chairwoman of the school board, saying she couldn't reach her granddaughter. That's why he had come straight to Jihan and the others, knowing they usually hung around together. Jihan cursed inwardly, then replied casually, "We're looking for her too. Teacher, if you find her, make sure to tell me first. Might help me shave off some of that debt." Once the teacher left, Jihan's face darkened. Nobody says a word about today. No one saw Luya. Got it. Huang Gunwoo pointed at the two huddled figures, Minya and Yun Chauncey. What if those two run their mouths? Jihan walked over and warned them coldly, "If either of you talks, you'll regret it. Now go help us look for Luya. Don't come back until you find something." But Minya knew the truth. Falling from that height into the endless ocean, there was no way Luya survived. Terror gripped her chest. One thought kept looping in her mind. Dad, what do I do now? I just killed someone. She turned toward Yun Chauncey, unease settling deep in her chest. There was still one witness left, and he saw everything. Far away, in a dim, narrow alley, a very different scene was unfolding. A man knelt on the ground, trembling as he begged, "Please let me go. I have money, 1 billion, 10 billion, anything. I'm begging you." Lee Siyun stared down at him, expressionless. "I've already taken the money. And I was hired to kill you." With that, he ignored the floral shirt man's desperate pleas and slashed his throat cleanly. He needed to finish early. Today was his daughter's birthday. After wiping the blade, Siyun pulled out his phone again and dialed the same number he had called countless times. Still no one answered. He sighed softly. "Still refusing to pick up, huh? My precious daughter. I wonder what you're doing right now. My sweet Luya." Luya had been missing for 2 whole days. As the granddaughter of the nation's most powerful conglomerate, her disappearance should have caused a massive public uproar. But strangely, the entire country remained eerily calm. Minya couldn't help but feel uneasy. What was really going on here? Meanwhile, Huang Gunwoo and the others were consumed by panic. If they didn't find Luya soon, they were all as good as dead. His older brother had been searching for Luya non-stop, and if she wasn't found soon, none of them would survive his wrath. Kong Jihan was horrified. With a forced smile, he turned to Gunwoo. "Hey, your brother's terrifying. Please put in a good word for us. We're all in this together, right?" But Gunwoo scoffed. "I was never on your boat. I get seasick. The only reason I hung around you people was because I was interested in Luya." Yura let out a cold laugh. "Already trying to jump ship? Don't forget, I've got some lovely little memories stored in my phone. The club girls, the stuff you slipped into their drinks, your twisted little games. I've got it all. Shame they didn't find it as fun as you did." Gunwoo's face twisted in rage. "You're threatening me? Yura, when the hell did you take those pictures?" Jihan let out a breath of relief and stepped in. "Good. Leverage always helps. Let's not tear each other apart. We're all important to each other, right? Right now what matters most is finding Luya." At that moment, Yun Chauncey stood quietly in the corner, secretly watching Minya with a conflicted gaze. Meanwhile, Minya couldn't stop wondering, did he see it? Did he witness what happened that day? Luya wasn't just anyone, she was the sole heiress to a global conglomerate. The corporation would stop at nothing to find her. If this guy really saw something and opened his mouth, there was no way Minya could walk away unscathed. So she made a decision, she'd strike first. She invited Yun Chauncey to a nearby internet cafe, planning to subtly test him. Elsewhere, Lee Siyun stood with a furrowed brow. Though the mission had gone flawlessly, there wasn't the slightest trace of satisfaction on his face. His daughter hadn't posted anything for 2 whole days. That was completely unlike her. One of his subordinates tried to reassure him. She's just a girl. Mood swings are normal. Sunun didn't respond. He buried the unease deep within, until he realized someone was following him. Moments later, he was ambushed in a narrow alley. After a brutal fight, a short-haired woman aimed her gun at the last remaining attacker. The man quickly shouted, "Wait, are you Mr. Lee Soo-yoon? We were sent by the chairwoman. She ordered us to bring you back." Soo-yoon froze. Why would his mother-in-law suddenly summon him? The man added, "The chairwoman said, the young lady, Miss Liao, has gone missing." Soo-yoon's chest tightened. His heart seemed to stop beating for a moment, seized by a cold dread. At the internet cafe, Minya frowned as she stared at the screen. Not a single headline about Liao appeared in the Rihei Group's news. What was wrong with the chairwoman? Her granddaughter had vanished and she still acted like nothing had happened? Just then, Yoon Chonsi spoke hesitantly. "Minya, didn't Kang Jihan tell you to help look for Liao? Did you actually go? Are you serious? They say look, so we blindly obey? Are you really that naive or just pretending?" Chonsi lowered his head. "It's my fault. If it weren't for me, they wouldn't be targeting you. I couldn't care less about those scumbags. I'm not scared of them at all." Minya thought to herself, if he's saying that, maybe he really didn't see anything? But no, he was right behind me that day. Minya glanced at him from the corner of her eye. If he really saw it, what then? Her mind flashed with a dark thought. Should she throw Chonsi into the sea too? Oh, he's innocent. I'm not a killer. I can't do this again. Just in case, she suggested that they team up for the next task. Her real plan was to keep a close eye on him. But Chonsi, always insecure, turned her down. "Being around someone like me won't do you any good. You don't have to worry about me. I'll handle things on my own." With that, he slung his backpack over his shoulder and ran. In his mind, Chonsi thought, this is just how my life is. I'll bear everything alone. Minya stood there stunned. Is he seriously trying to act tough right now? Just then, a breaking news alert flashed across the internet cafe's screen. A knife attack was taking place right outside, and Yoon Chonsi had just walked out. Outside, a man was wildly slashing at random pedestrians, screaming, "You all deserve to die. I'll kill every last one of you." Chonsi had barely stepped through the door when he came face to face with the attacker, who snarled, "You're all in on it. You dogs, die all of you." From the upper floor, Minya had already spotted the chaos unfolding. At first, she was ready to rush down and save him. But then a thought crept in. If Yoon Chonsi died, wouldn't that actually solve her problem? Just as the blade was about to strike, her body moved faster than her mind. Without hesitation, she leapt from above and launched herself at the attacker. Bystanders screamed in shock. Where did that girl come from? The knife-wielding man was subdued, but as the attacker was pinned down, Minya suddenly realized she had no idea what to do next. Just then, Yoon Chonsi suddenly shouted, "Minya, look out." The attacker twisted his arm and stabbed upward, his blade aiming straight for Minya's eye. In a burst of instinct, she grabbed him and shot up into the sky in front of everyone. She had intended to carry him to a secluded area, but the man thrashed wildly, breaking free. In the struggle, his knife slashed across her palm. If he fell now, he would surely die. Minya clenched her teeth and reached out to catch him. But in that instant, the attacker's image overlapped with a haunting memory. The drunken man, the same motion, the same blade. Her father lying in a pool of blood. Her heart turned cold. She loosened her grip and let him fall. But I wasn't wrong, was I? She drifted back to the ground like a ghost, the words echoing in her mind. I killed again. Breaking news. A random knife attack occurred outside an internet cafe, resulting in 4 casualties. The suspect died at the scene, but the nature of his death raised serious questions. The report cut to eyewitnesses, their voices trembling as they recalled the scene. One person had even filmed the entire incident. In the video, Minya clearly appeared out of nowhere and vanished just as suddenly, sparking widespread online speculation. In a luxurious private lounge, Hwang Gunwoo's older brother, Hwang Junseong, was seething with rage, barely holding it together. 98% of his assets had been invested in Lee Luya. Now that she had suddenly vanished, rumors of liquidation were spreading like wildfire. If she weren't the sole heiress to the Rihei Group, if his little brother hadn't been infatuated with her, He never would have bet everything on her. In a fit of fury, Junseong kicked over the table and barked at his men, "Hold down Kang Jihan." A golf ball was shoved next to Jihan's ear. Without hesitation, Junseong swung the club, treating the man like a living golf tee. Jihan collapsed in agony, fear flooding his face. Junseong leaned in, voice cold as steel. 50 billion won. Start talking. How do you plan to fill that hole? Jihan frantically bowed his head. Luya, she ran some off-the-record businesses. I still have access to that money. Junseong's expression shifted slightly, interest flickering in his eyes. Go on. Minya stood still, frowning slightly. The area was swarming with hat-wearing uncles, police officers, and her bag was still inside the internet cafe. Minya, is this your bag? I grabbed it before they sealed the place off. Thanks. Minya took it, then added, you didn't have to. No one's born to be someone else's errand runner. Yoon Chonsi lowered his head in silence. Minya realized she had said the wrong thing. Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's okay, Chonsi replied, then hesitated. But how did you do that back there? Minya snapped her head up. That question, did he see it? She denied it instantly. I have no idea what you're talking about. Your hand, is it from stopping the killer? Just like what happened with Luya. That was you too, wasn't it? Minya's eyes turned icy. Killing intent surged. Yoon Chonsi, do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now? Telling a murderer to her face that you saw everything. She grabbed his collar, already imagining which ocean would be best to throw him into. Her eyes were so cold and sharp, Chauncey's heart began to race. The two of them stood there in tense silence. Then suddenly Minya laughed. Kidding. She lowered her head with a sigh. I can't do it, not to someone who's innocent. Without another word, she turned and bolted. If she stayed any longer, she might lose control. Behind her, Chauncey shouted, Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Both times. Minya paused, a bit surprised. Then she looked away and muttered under her breath, I didn't do anything. It's just some weird feeling, that's all. Elsewhere, Kang Jihan was simmering with resentment. Out of the three of them, only he had gotten hurt. Hwang Gunwoo had not only stood by and done nothing, he even tattled to his brother. Furious, Jihan told Yura to call out those women. Just then, Gunwoo showed up and announced, My brother told me to keep an eye on you too, especially you, Jihan. He wants a 50 billion won investment plan on his desk within a week. Of course, Jihan refused. He knew the moment he handed over such a plan, he'd lose all his value. Everything boils down to Luya, he said. Find her and everything will fall back into place. Jihan then smoothly tricked Gunwoo. Why don't you send out more people to look? With her temper, she won't stay hidden long. Not exactly the brightest bulb, Gunwoo nodded in agreement and rushed off to rally more help. Meanwhile, Jihan instructed Yura to get in touch with those women. He was ready to offload his entire stash of flour. At that moment, Minya sat in her room, scrolling through news and comment threads. Everyone online was praising the mysterious person, saying the knife-wielding attacker deserved to die. A strange, secret sense of satisfaction bloomed in her chest. She finally understood what her powers were meant for, to cleanse this world. Meanwhile, Lee Soo-yoon arrived at Rihei Group headquarters. The chairwoman, usually known for her ruthless, unshakable demeanor, was now consumed by grief. It was only the second time he had seen his mother-in-law. The first was years ago, after his wife's death, when she held his newborn daughter and coldly declared he was unworthy to be a husband or a father. That day, she announced the child would be the sole heir to the Rihei Group. From that moment on, he was forbidden from seeing or contacting his daughter. 16 years passed. And now the next time he saw his daughter, she was a cold corpse. Soo-yoon stood in silence, his chest hollow, guilt gnawing at every breath. After a long silence, the chairwoman finally spoke, calm but chilling. I didn't summon you because you're Luya's father. I summoned you because you're the world's best assassin. I want you to find the killer. Madam, Soo-yoon replied quietly. I'm not your subordinate. But this time, I'll do it as her father. On the 5th day of Luya's disappearance, students at school began to wonder why she hadn't shown up. Some speculated that she might have gone abroad for a sudden study program. Minya listened quietly to their chatter, a faint, satisfied smile curling at her lips. Those two really deserve to die. Everyone seems happier without them. Even the usually timid Yoon Chonsi seemed more cheerful. He approached Minya with a smile. You helped me. I want to repay you somehow. Minya had no intention of entertaining him, but when Chonsi kept following her, she sighed and said, Fine. Go buy me a can of coffee. Chonsi immediately agreed, darting off like he feared she'd change her mind. Minya rolled her eyes. Was he born to be an errand boy or what? Chonsi picked out the two most expensive drinks he could find. Just as he turned to head back, he ran into two all too familiar figures. It was Hwang Gunwoo and Kang Jihan. Well, Yoon Chonsi. Long time no see. Weren't you out looking for Luya? Chonsi stammered. I didn't know where to look. The two immediately dragged him down the stairwell. Where's Kang Minya? Didn't we tell you to look for her together? Chonsi trembled but spoke up. I don't know. Why don't you look yourselves? Jihan blinked in surprise. Was Chonsi talking back? Gunwoo didn't hesitate. He kicked him hard in the side. But this time Chonsi grit his teeth and raised his head. Without Luya, you two are nothing. Jihan's eyes went cold. He turned to Gunwoo. Show him what happens when trash talks. Kang Jihan picked up a call from Yura. She had traced Luya's old phone number to a warehouse, but wasn't sure if it contained the powder. She also asked, What's all that noise on your end? Jihan told Hwang Gunwoo to stay and record Chonsi getting beaten. He planned to use the footage later to blackmail him into running powder errands. Then he stepped into a quiet stairwell to continue the call. But Gunwoo hated this kind of sneaky business. What he loved most was using his fist. Ever since Luya vanished, his older brother had been taking his anger out on him. Gunwoo was a powder keg of rage just waiting to explode. As he pounded Chonsi into a bloody pulp, a sudden voice rang out. Hey! Hwang Gunwoo. Gunwoo turned around, eyes gleaming with twisted excitement. Another punching bag? Did you find Luya yet? If not, then you're dead meat. His face showed not a shred of guilt. Just how many people had he hurt to become this brazen? Maybe it was because no one had ever punished him. Minya stepped forward, grabbed Gunwoo by the collar and said coldly, Then let me be the one to punish you. This abandoned construction site was surrounded by weeds and silence. Minya looked around and said coldly, A place like this is perfect for someone like you to reflect. She stepped hard on Gunwoo's injured leg and said, I'll give you one last chance. Choose to be a decent human and I'll spare your life. You bitch. Be a good person. I'm gonna kill you. Do you even know who my brother is? Gunwoo roared in fury. Minya's eyes turned icy. He's beyond saving. She didn't hesitate any longer. I was wrong, I'm sorry, please. Spare me, Gunwoo pleaded pitifully but secretly reached for a rock, aiming to ambush her. Minya raised her hand slightly. Without touching him, the rock froze midair. Hopeless, she muttered. Meanwhile, back on the rooftop, Kang Jihan finished his call and looked around. But Gunwoo was nowhere to be found. He walked toward Yoon Chonsi and asked sharply, Where's Hwang Gunwoo? Before Chonsi could reply, a figure suddenly came crashing down from above. It was Gunwoo, bruised and bloodied, slamming into the concrete. Chonsi turned instinctively and saw Minya standing there. He hadn't cried even when beaten half to death. Yet now his tears spilled uncontrollably. Lee Soo-hyun arrived at his daughter's school, intending to investigate Hwang Gunwoo and the others. After all, those three had shown up the most in Luya's social media posts. But the moment he reached the school gate, he spotted an ambulance and several police cars parked outside, surrounded by a crowd. He casually stopped a student and asked, Hey, excuse me, do you know what happened here? To his surprise, the student he stopped was none other than Minya. She replied softly, I heard there was an accident. Someone fell and died. Lee watched the girl walk away. For some reason, something about her silhouette reminded him of Luya. He was soon led into the principal's office. Claiming to represent the chairman, he requested information on the three students and Luya's school life, only to be told that one of them, Hwang Gunwoo, had died. Kang Ki-han rushed into the warehouse, his face pale as he blurted out the news of Hwang Gunwoo's death to Yura. 50 billion in crypto. Gone. And my little brother's dead. Hwang Junseong's gonna kill me. He was ready to flee with the powder, but Yura calmly said, I already called Big Brother Hwang. Kang's eyes widened. You idiot, he snapped, turning to grab the goods and make a run for it. But Huang Junxiang arrived just then, slamming Kong to the ground. A high school punk trying to scam me? One of the subordinates examined the goods and reported, "Boss, the actual value of this stuff is way over 50 billion. Junxiang sneered. What a messed up country, high schoolers dealing with this kind of weight. Just then his phone rang. Mr. Huang Junxiang, your brother has been pronounced dead. Please come to the hospital. He froze, then his fury exploded. Lock both of them up, now. Yura panicked, waving her hands. This has nothing to do with me. I just found out Gunwu's dead. Junxiang's eyes sharpened. How do you know that? Yura quickly pointed at Kihan. He told me. Kong gritted his teeth in rage, but before he could retaliate he was pinned down again and beaten. Junxiang snarled, You killed him, didn't you? That's why you were so eager to run. Kong screamed, No, it wasn't me. But I know who did it. Junxiang grabbed him by the collar, roaring, Then tell me, who? Chonhi asked hesitantly, Minya, did Huang Gunwu really die yesterday? Minya smiled and nodded. Yeah, he's dead. Chonhi tried to reason with her. Minya, please, don't kill anyone again. But she chuckled. I didn't plan to kill him. I gave him a chance. He just chose to die. My dad was a cop. He died because of scumbags like them. My only regret is not punishing them sooner. Ever since Luya and Huang Gunwu disappeared, the atmosphere at school had noticeably improved. Some students even quietly hoped the rest would vanish too. Minya scrolled through her phone and stopped at a headline. A child abuse case from 10 years ago. The victim had died 2 years ago from trauma, while the criminal was still living freely. She clenched her fists. That wasn't fair. Alarmed, Chonhi chased after her. Minya, don't do something stupid. If you keep this up, someone's going to find out. Without replying, Minya ran straight into the girls' bathroom. Chonhi was about to follow when, Are you some kind of perv? That's the girls' restroom. A group of female students snapped. Embarrassed, Chonhi backed off, pacing nervously. What do I do now? She wouldn't actually. Then he heard Minya call from behind him. Hey, that guy. He's home right now. Just seconds later, a wave of gasps rippled through the hallway. Look, on YouTube. That child abuse guy, he jumped. A live stream showed the criminal leaping from his apartment, the moment captured in clear detail. Chonhi looked at Minya in shock. Did you just? Minya smiled and cut him off. What? I was in the restroom. At the hospital, Lee Soo-hyun used his day-high group connections to access Huang Gunwu's autopsy report, only to run into Huang Junxiang rushing down the hallway. Junxiang was a wreck, sobbing uncontrollably. Yeah, my brother was a damn fool, but he was my brother. I'll make the bastard who did this pay. Spotting two strangers near the ward, he lost it and threw a punch in blind rage. If the police hadn't stopped him in time, the whole floor would have turned into a war zone. Gritting his teeth, Junxiang roared, No burial tomorrow. I'm bringing the killer to his grave first. Outside the hospital, Lee Soo-hyun fell deep into thought. This guy never asked how his brother died. That could only mean one thing, he already knows. Further digging revealed that Huang Junxiang was the lead developer behind a massive cryptocurrency project. Lia had been a major stakeholder. The whole thing was supposed to be wrapped up after a corporate cleanup led by Day-High Group, but Junxiang ended up empty-handed, played for a fool by Luya. From the looks of it, he hated her more than anyone. Lee Soo-hyun and his team quietly tailed him, waiting for the right time to strike. After school, Chonhi kept nagging non-stop, earnestly pleading with Minya to stop killing people. Minya's smile faded. You should be saying that to the criminals. Then, without warning, she dragged him into a whirlwind of sky-soaring and earth-diving powered by her abilities. Once Chonhi finished gawking at the stunning otherworldly views, Minya finally spoke softly. When I first got my powers, I was completely lost. But after meeting you, I think I finally found my answer. Maybe saving you 3 times now was that answer. You saved me first. That's why I'm scared for you, and scared of the path I might walk if I lose control. She never imagined someone who had suffered so much could still be so good. His innocence chipped away at the darkness inside her. Looking him straight in the eyes, Minya made a promise. All right, I won't kill again. But just as they were heading home, Jang Ki-han had already set up an ambush nearby. The moment he spotted them, he stormed out and blocked their path. He pointed straight at Chonhi. "It was you, wasn't it? You killed Gun-woo." Minya frowned. "Did someone beat your brains out? What kind of nonsense are you spewing?" Jang Ki-han snapped. "Who else could it be? Gun-woo died and the only one there was him. He nearly killed me too." Chonhi trembled with rage. "You're insane. I was the one who almost died that night." Minya had heard enough. Her expression turned icy. She was just about to make Jang Ki-han eat pavement. But out of nowhere, a jolt of electricity struck her from behind. Before she could react, Minya collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Chonhi kept insisting he didn't kill Hwang Gun-woo. And deep down, Hwang Gun-sung knew it too. His brother might have been dumb, but there's no way that skinny weakling could have taken down someone as built as Gun-woo. But Jang Ki-han, desperate to save himself, stuck to one story. Chonhi was the last one seen with Gun-woo. Gun-sung grabbed Chonhi by the collar, shouting, "Was there anyone else there? Say something." But Chonhi clenched his teeth and refused to speak. With a roar, Gun-sung's fist came crashing down into Chonhi's face. When Minya finally regained consciousness, she saw Chonhi bloodied and battered. He barely looked human. She struggled with all her might, desperate to scream out the truth. "It was me." But her powers had another fatal flaw. She couldn't use them when her mind was clouded and emotions were in chaos. Her head throbbed painfully. Helpless, she could only listen as Chonhi's cries echoed with every brutal punch. Gun-sung ordered someone to rip off her blindfold, then turned to Jang Ki-han. "Who is this girl?" Jang Ki-han panicked and blurted out a lie. She knows where Luya is." Staring at Chonhi's broken body, Minya began to tremble. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "I'm sorry, Chonhi." Gun-sung narrowed his eyes. "Sorry? What the hell are you sorry for?" Minya gritted her teeth. "I should have killed all of you on the rooftop. It's my fault for being too soft." Gun-sung's eyes widened. With a snarl, he launched his massive fist straight toward Minya's face. But what happened next stunned everyone. Minya, still tied to the chair, merged straight into Hwang Gun-sung's body. She stood up, calmly untying the ropes. Her face was terrifyingly calm, completely emotionless. Meanwhile, Lee Soo-hyun had just arrived downstairs. He had hoped for a civil conversation with Gun-sung, but the thug had already ordered, "No one comes up." Just then, loud crashing noises came from above, followed by 3 burly men flying out the window, slamming onto the ground like bags of garbage. Soo-hyun's eyes narrowed. What the hell is going on up there? Upstairs, Minya was reaching her limit. She'd used her powers too much. Her head throbbed like it might split open. Her eyes darted to Chonhi, lying on the ground barely breathing. "He's lost too much blood. I have to get him to a hospital. Now." But before she could touch him, Gun-sung's fist slammed into her head, sending her crashing to the floor. Her vision blurred and everything spun. Damn, a concussion? If that's true, her powers might stop working altogether. Gun-sung yanked her by the hair and growled, "Before you die, answer me, was it you who killed my brother?" Minya slowly raised her gaze, sneering. "Your brother?" The way he begged for his life was surprisingly fast. Gun-sung completely snapped. His eyes went bloodshot as he raised a metal club and brought it down toward her head with deadly force. Minya forced herself to focus, screaming inwardly, "Come on, powers, activate already." Then a faint but firm voice whispered in her ear. It was Chonhi. "Run." The grief jolted her awake. Through sheer willpower, she clenched her fists, determined to take Hwang Gun-sung down with her. Gun-sung didn't understand what was happening, but that didn't stop him from swinging his club wildly, rage taking over. Minya was struck again and again, finally collapsing to the floor, her body numb, unable to move. She could only watch death inch closer. But just as it was about to reach her, a powerful kick sent Gun-sung crashing to the ground. It was Lee Soo-hyun. His eyes widened in shock. "Wait, this girl, isn't she the one who asked me for directions that day? What is she doing here?" The more he looked, the tighter his chest became. My Leah, what happened to you?" Lee Soo-hyun had no idea that Hwang Gun-sung was sneaking up behind him for a surprise attack. Luckily, his killer instincts kicked in. He dodged at the last second and slammed Gunsong into the floor with a brutal over-the-shoulder throw. Damn, this guy was tough. Lee let out a cold chuckle. Perfect. It's been a while since I had a real fight. He despised bullies, scum who only preyed on the weak. After a fierce struggle, Hwang Gunsong finally went down for good, barely conscious. Lee muttered, "Don't die too fast. I still have questions for you." He quickly turned toward the injured kids kneeling beside them. "Hey, stay with me. What's your name?" Minya weakly opened her eyes and whispered, "I'm Kang Minya." "Who are you?" Lee Soo-hyun didn't reveal the truth. "I'm a police officer," he said simply. "Hup." Minya stared at him through hazy vision. His figure overlapped with a long-lost memory, the face of her father. "Dad," she murmured. Lee froze. The girl in his arms. Her face. It was identical to the daughter he'd been searching for. "Lia, don't be afraid. Daddy's here. Daddy will save you." The first thing Minya saw upon waking was her exhausted mother leaning over her bed. "Don't move," she said, voice trembling. "The doctor said you've suffered a severe head injury. You must rest completely." "What happened?" "I was so scared I might lose you too." Minya gave a few comforting words to calm her mother, but then her expression turned anxious. "Mom, what about Chonhi? The boy who was with me. Is he okay?" Lee Soo-hyun, standing nearby, answered in a low voice, "If you're asking about that boy, he's in the ICU." Last night, Lee had asked Hwang Gunsong directly, "Did you kill Luya?" But the man's shocked reaction didn't seem faked. "If Luya's dead, I've lost everything." Hwang roared. "No one wants her alive more than I do. Someone knows where she is. That girl with glasses. She knows." His voice cracked with fury. "You've got the wrong guy. I only wanted revenge for my brother." Just as he was about to say more, blood erupted from his mouth, gushing violently. Lee Soo-hyun flinched. When did he get so badly hurt? "I didn't go all out on him." But no answers would come. Hwang Gunsong was dead, taking his secrets with him. Minya instantly recognized the man in front of her. It was the same one she had seen at the school gate after punishing Hwang Gunwoo that day. Her mother gently reminded her, "Minya, don't you remember? This officer is the one who saved you from the kidnappers. He's your benefactor." But Lee Soo-hyun shook his head. "I merely carried her out while she was unconscious," he said, though he had intended to ask the girl a few questions. Minya interrupted anxiously, "I want to know, how is Chonhi?" Standing outside the ICU, Lee Soo-hyun told her, "The doctors say, he may never wake up." Minya felt her mind go blank. "It's all my fault. If I had just killed them all back then, none of this would have happened." At that moment, Chonhi's grandmother arrived in tears. "Officer, did you catch the one who hurt my grandson? Why did they do it? What did he ever do wrong?" What? Minya's mind spiraled into chaos. Her body shook with grief, and Lee Soo-hyun immediately called for the doctors. After emergency staff arrived, he glanced at the hollow look in the girl's eyes and realized she wouldn't be able to answer any questions. He prepared to leave. But then, unexpectedly, Minya spoke up. "Officer, did you catch the one who hurt Chonhi?" Lee Soo-hyun's voice was calm yet resolute. "Don't be afraid. The perpetrator is dead. Don't let garbage like them burden your heart. They only got what they deserved. Minya, you have no reason to feel guilty. My job is to carry out justice." His words broke through her mental fog. Minya looked at him and whispered, "Thank you, officer." Minya stood beside Chonhi's hospital bed, whispering, "They've all received their punishment. But there are still those who haven't paid the price. This time I won't show mercy." Lee Soo-hyun could tell Minya was hiding something, but now was not the time to press her. Meanwhile, the chairwoman was furious. "The world's top assassin, and you made such a brainless move? How are we supposed to follow the trail if the target is already dead?" Harry, Lee's partner, couldn't help but defend him. "That guy was strange to begin with. His chest just exploded out of nowhere. We didn't see it coming." Lee Soo-hyun raised a hand to stop Harry from saying more and admitted his mistake. "It was my failure. I should have kept him alive." The chairwoman's anger eased slightly at his attitude. "As for those two kids who were kidnapped by Hwang Gunsung, find out how much they know about Luya. If they know too much," she added coldly, "make sure they stay silent. I won't allow even a trace of disgrace to be tied to Luya." Lee Soo-hyun hesitated, then said, "Madam, It's possible those kids were actually hurt by Luya. Is that so? She replied, her tone turning icy. Then all the more reason to silence them. As parents, isn't it our duty to clean up after our children? Minya sat in silence, replaying the events of the past few days in her mind. She remembered clearly, Kang Ki-han had escaped, but he had seen her powers with his own eyes. He knew Luya's death was connected to her. Chonhi's condition was also his doing. For that, Minya swore she would never let him go unpunished. Meanwhile, Lee Soo-hyun was reviewing the evidence. Hwang Gun-woo had supposedly fallen to his death, but something didn't sit right. He recalled the 3 men who had suddenly fallen from above and came to a chilling possibility. He decided to inspect Luya's body for himself. But the chairwoman had forbidden anyone from entering before the funeral. Left with no choice, Lee Soo-hyun had to engage in a friendly conversation to gain access to the morgue. After examining the markings and variations in the livor mortis patterns, he came to a startling conclusion. Luya had also died from a fall. That meant the killer of both Luya and Hwang Gun-woo could very well be the same person. At that moment, Minya visited her father's shrine alone. She whispered, "I've killed people. More than a few. I'm a cop's daughter. If you were still alive, you'd probably be furious. But those people ruined your life and destroyed Chonhi's. That officer was right, they got what they deserved. Someone has to punish the wicked. That's why I was given these powers. So please, Dad, just watch over me." After the food arrived, Yura waited for a long time before sneaking out to pick it up. "Shut the door now," Kang Ki-han urged nervously. What if Kang Minya suddenly shows up? His mind kept replaying last night's horrors. Why isn't this on the news? So many people died. The more he thought about it, the more fear gripped his heart. How could anyone possess that kind of terrifying power? Lost in his thoughts, he was startled when Yura suddenly appeared beside him. He lashed out instinctively and Yura assumed he was throwing a tantrum again. Their simmering tensions finally boiled over. Yura snapped, "This is all your fault. If you hadn't framed Minya and Chauncey, none of this would have happened." Ki-han shot back, "You betrayed me first. If I hadn't gotten mixed up with you and Liao, my life wouldn't be in ruins." Yura sneered, "Yeah? And without me and Liao, would you even be making that dirty money?" The fight escalated into a full-on brawl. Exhausted, Ki-han slumped to the floor and muttered, "We need protection. Someone, or some group, that can handle Kang Minya." A shadowy name surfaced in his mind. Yura paused, skeptical. "Wait, are you saying there's actually a group like that in this country?" Inside the Il-hei group, tension flared as Lee Soo-hyun was scolded harshly by the chairman. "Get this straight, you're not that child's father. You're just a mercenary hired by the company." The confrontation grew stiff and uncomfortable. Just then Harry burst into the room looking flustered. "Sir, we've got new intel." She immediately turned to his phone and said, "Repeat what you just said." A nervous voice came through the speaker. "I'm Leah's close friend, and I know who killed her." Meanwhile, Minya was scrolling through Yura's old social media posts. After carefully comparing the curtain patterns and angles of the photos, a chilling gleam appeared in her eyes. "Found you." But she still hadn't figured out how to catch Yura without fail. That's when she noticed a sudden influx of people around the building. Lee Soo-hyun's team had arrived. Could Yura have called the cops? Not wanting to cross paths with that particular officer, Minya quickly devised a bold plan. At the same time, Lee Soo-hyun and his team had surrounded the entire building. They strongly suspected that Han Yura and Kang Ki-han were hiding inside, and this time they wouldn't let anyone slip through. Suddenly, Harry snapped his head around, scanning the empty hallway behind them. "What is it?" Lee Soo-hyun asked. Harry frowned. "I think someone's tailing us, but I didn't see anyone." The group shrugged it off and kept moving forward. Yura was pacing nervously, muttering under her breath, "Why aren't they here yet?" Moments later, the doorbell rang sharply. Peeking through the peephole, she saw a girl outside with a sweet, harmless-looking smile. The girl asked gently, "Did you just call us a little while ago?" Harry replied with a warm smile, "Yes, we came as soon as we got your call. I heard it was urgent. Mind opening the door so we can talk?" After a long hesitation, Yura finally unlocked the door, inching it open cautiously. But then her eyes widened in shock as she felt an invisible force seize her body. A chilling voice echoed in her ear, "Got you." Yura let out a sharp scream before vanishing from the spot in an instant. Hearing the scream, Lee Soo-hyun and his team rushed in, bursting through the door. But the room was already empty. She had just been right there. How could she be gone? Minya watched Yura cry and scream in agony, her face emotionless. Yura sobbed desperately, "Minya, I swear I don't know anything. I never did anything to you, right? You may not have done anything to me," Minya said coldly. "But what about Chauncey?" Yura quickly broke down, begging for forgiveness. "I was wrong. I'll never do it again. Please just let me go." "Fine," Minya replied calmly. "Take me to see Kang Ji-han and I'll let you go." Meanwhile, Lee Soo-hyun and his team had turned the entire apartment inside out, but Yura was nowhere to be found. "How is this possible?" he muttered. "No one can just vanish." He immediately ordered a full search of the building. Hari had a sinking feeling. It had to be the same person who killed Leah. But how could anyone disappear like that? Unless they had supernatural powers. Lee Soo-hyun looked thoughtful. "First priority is finding Han Yura alive," he said firmly. The search team scoured every floor, every corner, but came up empty. Lee Soo-hyun was convinced the culprit was still nearby, unaware that across the street, someone was silently watching them. It was Kang Ji-han. He didn't know Yura had vanished. He thought the Daehi group simply hadn't found her yet. He cursed under his breath. Useless. He had gone through all the trouble of getting her contact from their teacher, planning to use her as a shield. Now that was all pointless. Just then the doorbell rang. To Kang Ji-han's surprise, it was Yura. No wonder the Daehi group couldn't find her. Furious, he flung the door open and shouted, "You idiot!" But before he could say more, Minya appeared from behind Yura, greeting him with a chilling smile. "Hey there." Ji-han panicked and tried to slam the door shut, but there was no outrunning someone with powers like hers. "Ji-han, long time no see," Minya said coldly. "It's time for your punishment." He turned to flee, but she moved faster, slamming him hard to the ground before he could even reach the door. Yura broke down in tears. "Please, Minya, have mercy. I didn't do anything to you. I only took some photos. It was all Ji-han. He's the reason you were kidnapped." "Shut up, Han Yura," Ji-han screamed. "Don't twist things. You're the one who..." Minya watched their petty fight in silence, then spoke calmly. "Are those your last words? Don't you have anything to say about Chauncey?" Ji-han backed toward the window, pointing outside. "See those men in black? They're from the Daehi group. I called them here myself." Minya frowned. "Wait, wasn't that guy claiming to be a cop?" Ji-han's right hand twitched, ready to strike, while his words tried to distract her. "If they find out you killed Leah, you're done, Minya. Totally finished." Minya stepped forward slowly, her tone calm. "You've got it all wrong. I don't care if you expose me. Go ahead, tell the media if you want." Kang Ji-han backed away, yelling dramatically, "A teleporting high school girl. Murdered the Daehi heiress and gangsters. Now she's coming for me. What a headline, huh?" Suddenly, he pulled out a stun gun and fired it straight at Minya. At the same time, Yura screamed and swung a chair at her. But the stun gun missed and hit Yura instead, sending her collapsing to the floor, convulsing. Minya let out a short laugh. "You two are ridiculous. You should have been comedians. But since you chose this path, don't expect mercy." "Mercy? Who do you think you are?" Ji-han roared. "Who gave you the right to punish us?" Minya's expression turned icy as she whipped out a staff. "Do you even know what Chauncey went through?" Then, without hesitation, she drove the staff into Ji-han's skull. His eyes widened in shock, then went completely still. On the opposite side, Lee Soo-hyun heard a gunshot and quickly locked onto a mixed-use building at his 4 o'clock. "Seal off the entire area," he ordered without hesitation. Meanwhile, Minya radiated killing intent. Kang Ji-han's pleas for mercy didn't stir even a flicker of emotion in her. She kept a sharp eye on the window, just as expected. They were here. That deliberately loud noise she made earlier? It was meant to draw the police, but it turned out to attract the Daehi group instead. Even better. "Don't be scared, Ji-han. Chauncey's alive, and you'll live too." The neighborhood was now swarming with Daehi's private operatives. Lee Soo-hyun remained calm and issued commands. "Seal every exit. No one leaves. Stay on full alert. We don't know what kind of method they're using, but... Before he could finish, a figure suddenly dropped from the upper floor. Soo-hyun looked up sharply. Someone was standing silently on the rooftop ledge. Ji-han, in complete shock, had no idea how he ended up there, only to vanish again the very next second. Lee Soo-hyun clenched his fists in frustration. Damn it! She disappeared again. His roar echoed, helpless and enraged. At that moment, Kang Ji-han was thrown into an old, long-abandoned mine shaft. He dropped to his knees, pleading desperately, "Minya, please. You said you wouldn't kill me." Minya stared at him coldly. "You want to live? Then give me your phone password." Thinking she was after his money, Ji-han smirked inwardly. His account had layers of encryption. Giving her the password wouldn't reveal much. Pretending to cooperate, he said, "There, I told you. Can I go now?" "What are you talking about?" Minya said with a chilling smile. "I searched hard to find this place. It's your own special hideaway. After all, you're the one who killed Han Yura just to keep her quiet." Ji-han's face twisted in disbelief. "You killed Yura?" "Wrong. You did. Right in front of Daehai Group's eyes." It finally dawned on him. The rooftop appearance, the setup, everything had been a trap laid by Kang Minya. She took a moment to savor his anguish, then vanished with a blink. "Minya, don't go. Let me out. I'll do anything. Please, Kang Minya." Outside the mine, Minya lingered quietly for a moment. Once she was sure no one could hear his screams, she turned and walked away, fully at ease. Minya whispered to herself, "I did well, didn't I, Chonhi? Or, are you mad at me again for killing someone?" She sighed, eyes gleaming with bitter resolve. There's no turning back now. And this is only the beginning. Someone like Kang Ji-han, he's just a rotten twig on a dying tree. Her gaze hardened. "I'm going to rip the entire thing out from the roots. So if you really want to stop me, Chonhi, then wake up." So much had happened lately. Every day at school was filled with gossip and wild theories. Minya kept her usual calm through class, but on her way home, a man suddenly stopped her, snapping photos. "You're Kang Minya, right? The girl with supernatural powers. The mystery girl who stopped the knife attack outside the internet cafe. I'm an undercover journalist and I'm going to expose the truth." Sweat broke out on Minya's back. Who is this guy? How could he possibly know? She had always kept herself fully covered and the news never showed her face. Was it the school uniform skirt? What kind of evidence did he have? The gray-haired man bombarded her with non-stop questions, closing in. Just as Minya was about to lose her composure, Lee Soo-hyun stepped in and snatched the guy's phone. "What do you think you're doing?" Then he turned to Minya with a faint smile. "Long time no see, Miss Minya." Of all people to run into now, it had to be him. He had to find a way to get out of this mess. Fast. The gray-haired man snapped. "Who the hell are you? You just crushed my phone. You better pay for it or I'm calling the cops." Lee Soo-hyun calmly pressed down on his hand. Crack. A finger broke instantly. "You should be grateful it was only one. Your phone is filled with close-ups of girls' skirts and shoes. That little hobby of yours could easily land you behind bars." "No, I was just gathering clues. Looking for someone with powers," he stammered. But by then, students all around had pulled out their phones. "Get this creep on camera. Expose the pervert." Panicked, the man yanked a mask over his face and bolted. Minya let out a slow breath. Maybe he wasn't targeting her specifically. He probably did this to every girl. Lee Soo-hyun stepped in front of her and said gently, "Can we talk?" At the dessert shop, Lee Soo-hyun ordered Minya a luxurious treat. Minya beamed with delight. "Thank you. Not only did you help me, but you're even treating me to something so delicious." "It's nothing. I'm a cop, it's part of the job," he replied calmly. Minya smiled even brighter, though inside she was already speculating. Was he from the Il-hei group? Or just a cop working with them? Either way, it didn't matter. She'd play along with their little show. Suddenly, she looked at the two and teased, "Wait, are you two dating?" Hari lit up, thrilled. "Do we look like we are? Actually, now that you mention it, we do look kinda perfect together, right?" The two started joking and complimenting each other. Lee Soo-hyun stared at Minya in silence. There was something about her that kept reminding him of Luya. As they chatted, tears welled up in Minya's eyes. "I still can't remember everything from that day. Because of Kang Ji-han, I got kidnapped by a bunch of people. I saw Chonhi getting beaten right in front of me. Then I got hit too and blacked out. I only remember a flash of light. After that, nothing. Were they trying to frame me and Chonhi? You mean the murder of Hwang Jianwoo? You think Kang Ji-han did it? Soo-hyun asked. I can't be sure. But people like us, we couldn't possibly take down someone like Jianwoo. Unless, maybe someone pushed him off a high building when he wasn't looking. Lee Soo-hyun's sharp eyes missed nothing as he studied her expression. But Minya, tearful yet unwavering, met his gaze head-on. Eventually, Soo-hyun looked away first. Sorry to bring up such painful memories, but eyewitness accounts are crucial. I hope you understand. Also, we're currently looking for Kang Ji-han. Do you have any information on his whereabouts? Minya didn't answer directly. Instead, she countered, do you think Kang Ji-han had something to do with Hwang Jianwoo's death? Soo-hyun replied, until we find Kang Ji-han, it's hard to draw any conclusions. With that, Minya excused herself, saying she needed to use the restroom. As he watched her walk away, a strange thought gnawed at Soo-hyun. Why did this girl keep reminding him of Luya? Before they parted, Soo-hyun handed her a business card. We'll likely be in touch again. Minya responded earnestly, if you need anything, I'll help however I can. If you remember anything, no matter how small, about that day, please contact us immediately. Minya nodded. I will. Watching the girl walk away, Hari muttered, if she's acting, then the future of Korean cinema is in excellent hands. Then shifting to a serious tone, she added, just got a message from Officer Cho. We now have access to all the footage from the internet cafe stabbing. The only thing left is the DNA analysis from the knife. Lee Soo-hyun glanced at the used fork Minya had left behind. Once we match this sample against everyone involved, we'll finally have our answer. At that moment, Minya was rewatching the incident footage on loop, along with every analysis video made by influencers. The internet was in chaos, fiercely debating whether the teleportation was real. It made her reflect. She had used her ability in front of everyone just to save Chonhi. No wonder that low-tier streamer had tracked her down. The event had gone viral. Even if he hadn't been targeting her specifically, he was still frighteningly perceptive. Any content involving superpowers was pulling in serious numbers. There was a real chance he'd keep digging. For a brief moment, Minya considered silencing him for good. But her reason snapped her back. No, she couldn't become someone who killed the innocent. Besides, Chonhi ended up like this partly because of her. She had to admit her control wasn't perfect. From now on, she would have to be more careful, meticulously so. Just then, Minya's mom came in and said, Uncle Cho is here to visit. After some polite greetings, Officer Cho looked heavy-hearted. Minya, I don't deserve to face you. As a police officer, I couldn't even help when you were in danger. Her mom quickly chimed in, don't say that. Thanks to you, we saved a fortune in hospital bills. Minya added, Mom was completely overwhelmed back then. You were the one holding everything together. Officer Cho sighed deeply. I owed your father my life, but when it came to you, this was all I could do. Her mom patted his hand gently. If her dad knew, he'd say you've done more than enough. Minya's tone suddenly turned cold. You don't need to feel sorry for me. She stabbed her fork into the food with force, eyes sharp as knives. The one who should apologize never said a word. How long until he's out? 7 more years. He got drunk, killed someone, and got only 13 years. Amazing, right? Her mom quietly reminded her. Minya, we agreed not to talk about this anymore. For your dad's sake, let's try to live a good life. Minya's anger faded and she whispered, Sorry, Mom. I understand. Thinking back to that brief look in Minya's eyes, Officer Cho suddenly felt uneasy. Was it just his imagination? Shaking the thought off, he asked about the kidnapping incident. Minya's mom looked confused. Didn't Officer Lee Soo-yoon already get her statement yesterday? Is there a new issue? Cho froze for a second, then quickly laughed it off. Lee Soo-yoon, he's just really enthusiastic about his work. Minya, you must have been tired yesterday, huh? Not really, Minya replied casually. He even treated me to something nice. Her mom, ever the host, said she'd love to invite Officer Lee over for some homemade kimchi. But Cho quickly responded, that would be against protocol. At that moment, Minya couldn't help but wonder, was Lee Soo-yoon even a real cop? Cho reassured them, don't worry. The main culprit Huang Junxiang is dead. After a bit more small talk, he reminded Minya to stay away from shady people, then stood to leave. You're so busy and still made time for us, her mom said gratefully. Cho smiled, once this new case wraps up I'll get some rest. Minya asked casually, what case? And when she heard it was the net cafe random stabbing, she knew she couldn't afford to wait any longer. As Officer Cho walked away, he couldn't shake off the look in Minya's eyes. But he quickly dismissed the thought. Minya was Junhwa's daughter after all. It was that reckless man's fault for getting her involved. The next day at work, Cho was in a foul mood. Criminals walking around with police IDs. This country's truly going downhill. He demanded to know whose DNA was in the case file. If you're going to tamper with evidence, I at least deserve to know what you're doing. But Lee Soo-yun refused to answer. I've already cleared it with the higher-ups. You won't be held responsible, Officer Cho. Furious yet powerless, Cho headed to the evidence room and retrieved everything, especially the key weapon in the case. So, Cho said sarcastically, how does it feel to play pretend as a cop? Must be a real thrill. Lee Soo-yun shot back, you seem tense today. What's wrong? Upset I didn't offer tribute like Huang Junxiang did. That was the last straw. Cho grabbed Lee by the collar and slammed him against the wall. What did you do while pretending to be a cop? Why are you getting close to Minya? Lee's eyes widened. You know Kong Minya? Cho snarled, clutching his collar tighter. Minya doesn't know anything. If you lay a finger on her, I swear I won't let you walk away. Just as Lee Soo-yun was about to respond, someone burst into the room. Officer Cho. Something serious just happened. Someone fell from the sky, right in front of the station. Died instantly. At that very moment, Minya, fully disguised, was crouched on a car roof nearby. Calmly she spoke, hello there. The officers barely had time to react before she vanished into thin air. Meanwhile, Officer Cho rushed out of the building, only to run straight into the suspect. Minya greeted him casually, hi. Cho frowned. That voice, it sounded familiar. But before he could think it through, she disappeared again. Just then, a junior officer reported, we've got intruders on the 4th floor too. But Cho's gut told him the truth. There was only one person. Thanks to her prior scouting, Minya arrived at the location with precision, only to find officers already waiting at the entrance. Without hesitation, she teleported the ambushers to the rooftop. Then she returned to blow the lock off the door using a special weapon. Inside, Harry had been standing by. The moment he saw a figure enter, he swung his axe without a second thought. But to his shock, the one stepping in was Officer Cho. What the hell? How'd you get in here? Cho shouted. I heard the explosion and rushed over. You said the suspect would be here, and you nearly attacked a cop. Mid-argument, Minya suddenly appeared. Even seeing it with his own eyes, Harry couldn't believe it. So superpowered beings do exist. Minya didn't bother explaining. She just wanted to retrieve her target and leave. But suddenly, a powerful sense of danger washed over her. Lee Soo-yun yelled, Harry. Harry instinctively hurled his axe at Minya, only for her to vanish once more. Gritting his teeth, Harry growled, how the hell do we catch something like that? Just then Minya reappeared. Lee Soo-yun's expression shifted as he addressed her. Back again? Looking for this? What's the hesitation? Come and get it. Minya stared at him wordlessly, then replied coolly, you'll never catch me. Lee frowned. That voice, it was male. But the footage from the internet cafe clearly showed a petite girl. The voice and figure didn't match at all. He decided to provoke her. Let's see what's faster, your weird ability or me ripping off your disguise. Come on, curious yet? Without a word, Minya pulled out a rope, an absurdly long one. The officers exchanged confused glances. In the next instant, the rope melted into their bodies. Even Harry wasn't spared. A sharp pain shot through them. When they regained focus, the evidence was already gone, now in Minya's hands. She smirked and said, thanks for the help, then vanished once again. Lee Soo-yun writhed in pain, unable to stand. All he could do was watch her disappear again, the lingering shimmer in the air mocking their helplessness.